Hi guys, and welcome to 28 Days of Yoga with Kirsty. If you haven't guessed by now, my name is Kirsty and I'm very excited to virtually flow with you and meet you. This series was created to basically get 2021 off to an awesome start with some yoga TLC. If you're like me, yoga is amazing, and what's better than free yoga and even a giveaway? So today's practice is called Let's Get Moving for day one. It's all about flowing in a way that hopefully gets you used to how your body moves, what feels nice for you, and maybe what's a little bit more challenging. There's different poses in here where you can maybe take a slightly harder option or more challenging option if you feel up for it today. But there's also lots of places where it's nice to take it a little bit easier if that feels better for you. So as always, honor your body for where it's at today. It's okay if you want to take it easier or if you want to push yourself. We listen to our body. If it doesn't feel good, don't feel like you have to do it. You can always just sit out for that pose if you need to. But without further ado, grab some water if you need it nearby, lay out your mat if you have one. If not, grab a space that is comfy for you, that you're happy to flow in, that's nice and airy. Probably not somewhere with lots of plants nearby because they do get in the way. But anyway, let's get moving, flowing for day one. See you on the mat. So for day one, to start the practice for Let's Get Moving, I'd like you to bring yourself to a comfortable seated position. This could be easy seated pose, so cross-legged position in a way that feels comfy for you, or maybe it's something else. Perhaps it's legs extended, maybe it's kneeling, or perhaps it's something different. You can experiment as much as you need to, but just get comfy to start with. We're going to do a little bit of breathing work now with the eyes closed, so really focus on getting comfy today. So hands on the knees, maybe they're touching, maybe their palms are up towards the ceiling, or maybe your hands are in your lap. So we're just going to close the eyes or soften the gaze and just focus on the breath. Shoulders will roll back and down, just so we got lots of space to breathe into. So as we're inhaling and exhaling today, I just want you to focus in on how it feels to start with, just your natural breathing. What's happening? Are you breathing in and out through the nose? Are you breathing in and out through the mouth? Or are you breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth? There's no rights or wrongs, it's just what feels nice for you to start with today. Remember, we're easing into the practice. Good. And then with the next inhale, I'd like you to imagine you're filling up a balloon in your belly. So that balloon, as we breathe in, is filling up all the way to the front. And as we exhale, that balloon is slowly releasing all the air back out through the nose or through the mouth. Breathing in, filling up the balloon. Breathing out, slowly releasing. Good. Maybe as you next inhale, that balloon is filling up. And if we're breathing out through the mouth, we're imagining there's a pinprick of a gap, almost as if you're breathing out through a straw, very slowly releasing all the air out of the balloon before filling it up again when you're ready. So just allowing the breathing to happen, inhaling and exhaling, but really imagining that balloon is filling up and then releasing. Good. So today, right now, all we're focusing on is breathing. If you need to have a little bit of a wiggle to be more comfortable right now, please feel free to. But if you can stay still and just focus in on the breath, then that would be amazing. So filling up the balloon and gently releasing. And maybe with every breath we're taking, the breathing can get a little bit deeper. So we're taking in a little bit more air with every inhale, and maybe spending a little bit longer exhaling out. Perhaps even the exhales begin to become longer than every inhale we're taking. Good. Really nice. And perhaps the longer we're sitting here today, the more aware of our body we're becoming. Maybe we're starting to notice different areas of the body that need to wiggle. Maybe it's just a slight movement, or perhaps it's just bringing your awareness to it. So maybe we're noticing how our toes are feeling today. The ankles, all the way up to the knees, all the way up to the hips, the glutes, the pelvis. Just acknowledging every area of your body as you're breathing in and breathing out. The lower back and the belly, the mid-back, upper back and chest. The shoulders all the way down to each and every fingertip and thumb today. The wrists all the way back up to the elbows, back up to the shoulders once more. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. How is your neck today? The throat, the jaw, your teeth, are they clenched or are they relaxed? How are your cheeks, your nose, your eyes, the eyelids, the eyebrows, the space between the brows, the forehead, and finally allow your awareness to travel up to the crown of your head, the very top of your head today. Still breathing in and breathing out, and maybe noticing how the body is feeling as a whole, or any areas that are really wanting your attention today, and just be mindful of them. Maybe it means that we're giving them extra wiggles today, or perhaps in those particular areas we're allowing ourselves to take it a little bit easier, or perhaps push ourselves a little bit more if that's what that area is wanting. So just taking a couple more deep breaths today, in through the nose, filling up the balloon in our bellies, and slowly breathing out through the nose or the mouth. Good, one more breath. And as you next exhale, I'd like you to draw your chin in towards your chest and let the head get heavy. We're just stretching out the back of the neck now. Just breathing in and breathing out. And then maybe with the next inhale, the chin slowly moves over towards the right shoulder. Perhaps the chin stays to the shoulder or the ear does, depending on where the stretch feels nice. Maybe the next inhale, we come all the way back to center and slowly over towards the left. Again, maybe the chin meets the shoulder, or perhaps your left ear does. Good. So just rocking forwards to the side, forwards to the opposite side. So we're going to semicircles now, side to side. And just seeing what feels nice for you in the neck today. And perhaps those circles slowly get bigger and bigger until we end up forming full circles. Or maybe we stay as semicircles. Whatever feels good for you, just stretching out and releasing. Maybe there's certain areas we want to pause in today. Maybe with one ear towards the shoulder and just feeling that stretch along the side of the neck. Maybe it felt good with the chin tucked in towards the chest. So having a play here in your neck, just noticing how each movement makes your body feel today. Couple more rounds of movement here. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Okay, when you're ready, slowly coming all the way back to neutral with the head. The crown of the head is reaching up towards the ceiling and shoulders roll back and down a few times, just drawing circles with our shoulders, squeezing them together as we reach back, opening up that chest. Good. And then slowly finding stillness once more. As you next inhale, let's scoop the arms out towards the edges of us and slowly all the way up towards the ceiling as if we're having a nice big morning stretch or yawn. Fingers interlace when they meet at the top, and then turn the palms all the way to the ceiling so you can have a nice big stretch. I'm not sure if that came through on camera, but my fingers just clicked a lot. So if you're anything like me, it's okay to click. I'm just noticing how it feels. Good. As you next exhale, let's slowly release those hands. Have a nice big stretch out to the sides and exhale all the way down to the ground. Hands come back to the knees. We're going to do that one more time. As we inhale, scoop to the sides, all the way up to the ceiling, but instead of interlacing your fingers now, I'd like you to take your left hand and grab onto your right wrist. As we breathe in, we're lifting and lengthening, reaching those hands up nice and tall. As we breathe out, we're leaning over to the left side of the room. Good. Maybe the head stays looking straight ahead. Maybe we're looking up to the ceiling as if we're trying to sniff our armpits. Or perhaps it feels good to look to the ground. Your choice, whatever feels nice today. So we're just breathing in and breathing out and feeling that lovely stretch down the right side of our body. One more breath. Inhale, come all the way back to center. Release the hands and switch over. The right hand now is going to take the left wrist. As we inhale, we're lifting and lengthening, and exhaling, leaning over towards the right. Good. Same again with the head. Either we're sniffing the armpit whilst looking up to the ceiling, looking straight ahead, or looking down towards the ground. Whatever's feeling nice for you. 2 more breaths. Embracing anything that's happening in your body as long as it feels productive. Good. As we next inhale, reaching all the way back towards the ceiling, and exhaling, slowly releasing the hands down to the knees. Good. Any wiggles that need to happen now, just let them happen. Maybe it's the shoulders, maybe it's shaking the hands, and just make sure you're still breathing. Lovely. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to take the hands underneath the knees if you're in a seated position. Otherwise, we're meeting in a tabletop position, so just rolling all the way over onto all fours today. So the hands are going to come underneath those shoulders, and the knees are stacked directly underneath the hips. So making a tabletop position here. As you inhale, I'd like you to draw your belly down towards the ground and look up towards the ceiling, coming to our cow pose. As you breathe out, tucking the chin in towards the chest, rounding through the spine and looking back towards the toes. Good. As we inhale, dropping the belly back down, maybe looking up again. As you exhale, tucking the chin in, rounding through the spine, coming to cat once more. So just breathing here. As we inhale, the belly falls, we look up. As we breathe out, we tuck the chin in and round through the spine. So go with your own breath here. Breathing in, breathing out, just moving through those 2 movements. If you want to pause at any point, you are more than welcome to. Maybe it feels nice to hold one of the poses for a couple of breaths. And then slowly come back into it. So every inhale, we're drawing the belly down. That's when we move. And as you exhale, we can move back around, rounding through the spine, coming to your cat. Good. Couple more breaths if it feels nice for you. If you want to pause, as I said, feel free to. Good. Lovely. Right, okay. As you next inhale, come all the way back to your tabletop, your nice neutral spine. We're just going to take a few seconds to stretch out and warm up the wrists a bit. So gently rocking forwards and back over those wrists, feeling those wrists stretching out, and the hands feeling a little bit of a workout going on here too. Then maybe we want to turn our fingertips towards the edges of our mats or pointing out to the sides. If you don't have a mat, that's okay. Just rocking side to side, maybe drawing some circles with the body in both directions. Maybe we want to turn the fingertips so they point towards the knees, perhaps one at a time or both together. Your choice of what feels nice. Maybe it's just really gentle, subtle movements here. Maybe it's bending into those elbows. And then perhaps the hands come round to meet in center, rocking side to side. Maybe the palms turn to look up towards the ceiling, and we point the fingertips in any direction here that feels nice. Maybe make fists. So there are lots and lots of options for those wrists, so don't feel like you have to do all of them. If you found that one place that feels like it's really working for you today, just stay there. If that feels like where you want to be, then that's perfect for you today. So just going to take a few more breaths, a few more wiggles, whatever you're naturally wanting to do, just do it. It's okay. No one knows your body like you do. I'm just here to guide you through these 28 days. Lovely. Okay, so when you're ready to, we're coming all the way back to our neutral tabletop position. So just take a moment to make sure those hands are still stacked directly underneath the shoulders. So just have a little look if you can. Spreading the fingers lovely and wide. Good. As we next inhale, I'd like you to take your weight over to that left knee and slowly slide the right foot all the way to the outside of your right hand. If you need to use your right hand just to wiggle your foot there, that's okay to do. Don't feel like it's almost cheating. Sometimes we have this concept in yoga, if we're not as flexible as we think we should be, we're not doing it right. That's not true. You're perfect as you are. So, foot nice and planted on the mat. Maybe it's out to the side, maybe it's directly by the hand. Wherever you're at today is fine. From here, what we're going to do is take our right hand and place it on our right knee. As we next breathe in, we're shooting the left hand all the way up towards the ceiling, coming into a lunging position. If you're comfortable, reaching the right hand up to meet the left. Maybe even interlacing the fingers, coming into like a little bit of a pointing or gun position. So the index fingers are pointing directly up and the thumbs are touching. Maybe we even cross the thumbs over. Reach them up nice and high. Good. Okay, so we can stay here if we're feeling it working. I want you to imagine that we're trying to reach that back knee up off the ground. So we're engaging the glutes here. It's like we're sucking up, ready to stand up nice and tall. Maybe this is where we stay. Perhaps we take the hands to the lower back. Maybe from here we come into a little bit of a back bend. Keep holding onto the lower back for support, pushing into that front foot and feeling the weight traveling to the top of the back foot as well on the ground. Good. Maybe from here we can take one hand up of the lower back, reaching up towards the ceiling again. If we're comfortable, we're feeling the core working, the bottom engaged and the feet pushing into the mat. Maybe the right hand reaches up to meet it and we come into a bit of a back bend. Good. Inhale, we rise up nice and tall. As you exhale, just framing that front foot or placing the hands down on the inside of the right foot. I'd like you to tuck the back toes under. As you next breathe in, trying to peel that back knee up off the mat to our left knee. And nice deep breath. Maybe we take our right hand back to that right knee to lift up. Or we just power all the way up, coming to a high lunge position, hands maybe up over the head. Nice deep breath here. Breathing in, breathing out. Testing the balance now. We're going to slowly try to bring that back foot towards the top of the mat as we come to standing. So if we can, gently lean forwards and bounce off that back foot to come to standing at the top of the mat. Good. So if you had a bit of a wobble there, don't worry. It can be really challenging. There's so many days I fall over. However you've got to the top of the mat is perfect today. So when you get to the top of the mat, I'd like you to take your feet about mat width wide and spread the toes as wide as you can go today. So just breathing in and breathing out here. Good. Okay. As you inhale, scoop the hands out to the sides of you and all the way up overhead. Interlace the fingers and turn the palms to the sky as if having a nice big stretch again. Good. As we breathe in, we're reaching up tall. As you next exhale, leaning over towards the left. I'll turn to see you so you can look at what's happening here. But stay where you are. Good. Inhale all the way back to center and exhale over to the right. Head wherever you want it to be. Maybe it's looking up, maybe it's looking straight ahead, maybe to the ground. Inhale all the way back to center and exhale, slowly release the hands. Good. Okay, so facing the top of the mat still. We're going to release the hands down either side of the hips if you haven't already done so. As you next breathe in, take a nice, deep, big inhale and scoop the hands out to the sides again, all the way up overhead. Hands can meet in prayer. As we exhale, I'd like you to draw a line down the middle of your face, slowly down the middle of your body as we're gently folding forwards. Legs can be as bent as they need to here to be able to reach the hands towards the ground. If they don't quite reach, don't feel like that's a problem. It's perfect, don't worry. As you inhale, take the hands to the shins and find your flat back today. Maybe we've got a nice big bend or maybe we've got straight legs today. No worries, no matter where you are. As you exhale, I'd like you to take the hands down to the mat, so really bend into those knees if you need to. Step back with one foot and lower the knee down to the mat, and then take the other one back to meet it, coming back to our tabletop position. Nice. So from here, we're going to take the weight into that right knee. Breathe in, we're scooping the left foot out to the left side of the mat onto meet by the left hand. So from here, we're doing exactly the same as what we did on the other side. If you need to take your hand to walk the foot up, please feel free to do so. As you next breathe in, take the left hand to the left knee. Inhale, scoop right hand up overhead, and maybe the left one joins it. Perhaps interlacing the fingers, coming into our little index finger pointy shape and crossing the thumbs over one another. Whatever's feeling comfortable, if that's not where you want to be, just reach up nice and tall. Maybe come into prayer hands. It's completely up to you here. But I'd like you to feel weight traveling through, especially to the big toe on the front foot and the top of the back foot on the mat, helping to engage the glutes on both sides. Good. From here, maybe we release the hands and support our lower back. Maybe this is where we stay. Maybe we exhale, coming into a bit of a back bend. Perhaps we want to reach one hand up towards the ceiling, and maybe the other one joins it. Any hand position you want, again, anything that's supporting your body, let's do it today. Breathing in, breathing out. Next inhale, we rise nice and tall. Exhale, we lower the hands down onto the mat on the inside of that left foot. Tucking the back toes under, peeling the knee up off the ground, coming to our lunging position here. Maybe from here, we lift up nice and tall and powerfully, or we take the left hand, sliding onto the left leg and slowly balancing, reaching all the way up, coming to our lunge position. Lovely. Okay, powering through again. We're slowly shifting the weight completely into the front foot as we step off of the back leg, coming to standing at the top of the mat. Lovely stuff. So we're just walking it out here, breathing in, breathing out. Good. Okay. Spreading the toes nice and wide, coming into your starting position again. So hip width wide with those feet. Inhale, hands come to heart center in prayer. Slowly transfer the weight to your right foot and peel the left knee up towards the ceiling. From here, we're testing our balance, so find a focal point in front of you, preferably one that doesn't move. And as we exhale, we're slowly sending that left foot towards the back of the mat, coming into a warrior three position. Slowly, if you can, bending into that front right knee and lowering that back foot all the way to the mat. Good. So the back foot can be at a 45-degree angle, or we can be on the ball of our foot with the heel peeled up. Your choice. But if the heel's peeled up, we're pointing the toes to the top of the mat. Good. As you inhale, hands reach up overhead. Nice deep breath. Nice. Maybe we can sink a bit deeper into that front knee, but just check that front knee is in line with that second or third toe. Lovely. Okay, time to have a bit of a play here. I'd like you to pivot on your back foot so it becomes parallel to the back of the mat. The right hand reaches to the top, the left hand reaches to the back. So the back foot's in line, so the outer edge is in line with the back of the mat. Coming to our warrior two. Take a moment here just to check that front knee again is in line with the second or third toe. Good. From here, take a nice deep inhale. Turn the front palm towards the ceiling. As you exhale, the left hand touches the back leg, scooping the right hand up overhead, coming to a reverse warrior. Good. Next inhale, we're reaching all the way back to our warrior two. As we breathe out, we bend into that front right arm, placing it on that front knee and scooping the left arm up and over. Good. We're just going to move through these two movements now. So inhale, we come all the way back to our warrior two. Exhale, coming all the way to reverse warrior. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, leaning forwards. Good. One more time. And exhaling back. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale to our lunge. Good. As we inhale, let's come all the way back to warrior two and scoop the back arm, the left arm, all the way to the ground. So we're framing that front foot now with both hands. Pivoting on the back foot so you come up onto the toes and stepping that right foot to the back of the mat, coming to plank. So option here to stay in plank, or exhale, lower the knees down to the mat and tuck the toes. However you're doing this now, we're going to bend through those elbows, trying to keep the elbows hugged in towards the chest, slowly lowering all the way down to the ground. From here, you have the option to take the forearms to the mat, coming to a back bend here. Hands where those elbows just were, and coming to a back bend here instead. Or pushing the hands into the mat and the tops of the feet to lift the legs up off the ground and the hips, coming to up dog. Good. Okay, so from here we exhale, tuck the chin in towards the chest and push all the way back to our downward facing dog. Now, we want to focus on trying to have a straight spine here. So if that means really bending into the knees to send the tailbone high, please do that. Maybe we're walking the legs out here, just focusing on our breath. Or if this really doesn't feel good for us, let's send those knees all the way down to the mat, coming to tabletop instead. Just wiggling around, having your play wherever you need to today. One more breath. Good. Okay. As you next inhale, come to stillness. We're going to bend into those knees, look towards the fingertips, and those feet are going to walk towards the hands, coming to forward fold. Again, if you need to really bend into those knees here, please feel free to. As you inhale, hands to shins, finding your flat back. As we exhale, we fold forwards, hands towards the mat, and inhale, nice big scoop as we reach hands up overhead, looking to the fingertips. Exhale, lower hands down through heart center in prayer. Keep them there. The weight's going to transfer to the left foot as we peel the right knee up towards the ceiling, finding our focal point, or dristi as it's called in Sanskrit. Good. As you breathe out, sending that right foot towards the back of the mat, coming to our warrior three again. Good. Exhale, bending into that left knee at the front of the mat, lowering the back foot down. Again, 45-degree with the back foot, or on the tiptoes, looking towards the top of the mat with the foot. Good. As we breathe in, we're reaching hands up overhead, coming to our warrior one. Maybe we can sink a bit deeper into that front knee, checking the front knees in line with the second and third toe. Lovely. As you next breathe out, we're sending the right hand to the back of the mat and pivoting on the back foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat, and left hand reaches to the top. Good. Gaze is typically towards the middle finger on that front hand, so our left hand here today. And take a moment to check in with that knee again. So it should be on the front leg in line with the second or third toe. And even in our warrior two, it kind of feels like it's pulling out towards the baby toe. So just have a play here. Good. One more breath. Nice, strong, powerful here. And as you next exhale, we're lowering the back hand down to the back leg and scooping the left hand to the ceiling as we reach up and over, coming to our reverse warrior. You should be feeling a little bit of weight pushing through to the outer edge of the back foot here, as well as weight pushing into those front big toes, or all toes. You only have one big front big toe. Okay, as we inhale, coming all the way back to our warrior two. As you exhale, bending into that front left elbow, placing on the knee and scooping back hand up and over. One breath. Inhale all the way back to warrior two. Exhale, coming to reverse warrior again. Good, we've got two more rounds. Inhale all the way back to warrior two. And exhale, coming to our extended side lunge. Good, inhale back to warrior two. Last full round. Good, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale. Good. Inhale all the way back to warrior two. And as we next exhale, we're scooping the hands all the way down to the mat to frame the front leg. Maybe we pivot on the back toes before sending the front foot to the left foot to the back of the mat, coming to plank. Option again to lower the knees down. Otherwise, keeping lifted in your plank. Good. As we exhale, we're bending into the elbows, hugging them in towards the chest, lowering down towards the ground. Option to hover if you'd like to. Now take any option you want to with those hands on the mat. Maybe we do forearms down. Maybe we do hands and just pushing up. Or maybe we push into the mat to lift up off the ground with our lower body. So whatever back bend you want to take today. But as you next exhale, I'd like you to take your chin in towards the chest. And we're pushing all the way back to child's pose here. So keeping those big toes touching the knees on the mat. Maybe take the mat width wide and slowly sink the bottom down towards the heels. Breathe in, breathe out. And allow the head just to rest on the ground here. You can let the arms rest wherever is comfortable. You can reach them ahead. You can wrap them round by your bottom. We're just breathing here and just seeing what's happening in your body today. Good. Really nice. Okay. So if the hands are wrapped around by your bottom, just reach them straight ahead towards the top of the mat again. The next inhale you take, let's slowly walk yourself all the way up to seated again. Nice deep breath. Let's take the hands one way and swing the feet round the other way so we come towards a forward fold position. If you're like me towards the back of your mat, just scoop yourself so your bottom's in the middle of your mat. Take the feet out nice and long. It's okay to have a bit of a bend in those knees if you need to. Good. So toes towards the nose. I'd like them to really curl back if you can. As you inhale, scoop the hands to the side once more, look to the ceiling. And as you exhale, imagine there's a pole in your lap that we're trying to lift up and over with the body. So exhale, reaching towards the feet. If they don't grab onto the feet, hold on to those shins or onto the mat next to you. It's okay to sit up taller. I'd much rather you were taller in your spine than rounding through. It's okay to sit up higher if you need to. We're just going to hold here for a few breaths. We're feeling those toes pulling towards the nose, shoulders back and down away from the ears. We're really finding space through the chest. We're not rounding through. We're feeling that tug almost on the backs of the legs, all the way up that lower back, and core is working here. If we're doing it in a way that is active, which is what we're trying to do now, the whole body will be feeling this. If you're a bit passive, rounding through, you might feel it a little bit in some places, but we want that active stretch today. Good, one more breath. Good, okay. As you next inhale, walk the hands all the way up, those legs coming all the way up to seated, lovely and tall. So scooping your bottom all the way towards the top to walk yourself down onto your back. So we can lower down through the forearms, or we can just get down to the ground however you want to now. So we're coming towards the end of our session, our day one practice. So let's come to wind relieving pose now. As you inhale next, hugging the knees in towards your chest and just gently rocking side to side. Maybe drawing some circles with the knees. Maybe the knees stay friends, they stay close together, or perhaps they have a bit of a fallout. Opening up towards the edges of the room and then slowly meeting back together to have a nice little makeup. And then maybe they fall out again and then they make up. So whatever you fancy doing with those legs that feels nice in the hips and the lower back, let's do that today. Good, one more breath to play around here. Nice. Okay, when you're ready, come all the way back to neutral, back to stillness. And we're going to come to happy baby. So if you can, just taking the hands, either wrapping them around the big toe or holding on to the arches of your foot on both sides. So we're going to reach the feet up towards the ceiling. Maybe it looks a bit like this. Maybe the feet stay quite close together, the knees opening to the sides. Or perhaps we can slowly reach the feet up towards the ceiling, trying to get those thighs and knees parallel to the ground beneath us. So what this will be doing is feeling a bit of a stretch in the hip area, the groin area, but we're also really enforcing that connection of the lower back with the mat. So it's really nice here to perhaps rock side to side, and you get almost this little bit of a back massage. So just really noticing what's happening in your body with every movement you do. Does this feel nice for you? If not, how can you make it that little bit nicer? Good, so we're going to take one more breath. And as you exhale, slowly release the feet back down to meet and release the hands to lower the feet all the way down to the mat. Good. From here, take the arms nice and long either side of your body, so creating a T shape with the arms in line with the shoulders. As you inhale, hugging the knees in towards the chest and slowly drawing the knees over together towards the left side. Maybe we keep looking up towards the ceiling here. Maybe the head rolls to the right. Good. If the arms aren't quite comfortable here, perhaps bend in those elbows to allow the hands just to frame the face, coming to cactus arms. You're going to take 2 more breaths here today. Good. As you inhale next, slowly drawing the knees all the way back to center and then over towards the right. Maybe the head keeps looking up towards the ceiling, or perhaps we allow it to roll towards the left now. It's just feeling that lovely stretch along the whole of the body here. Breathing in, breathing out. Nice. One more breath. Good. And as we inhale, coming all the way back to center, allow the hands to maybe hold the knees and draw some circles a couple more times. And then when you're ready to, from here, we're going to come to a short Shavasana today. So Shavasana is our meditation. So wherever is comfortable for you to lie for a little bit, then please go there. Typically and traditionally, we say to extend the legs nice and long. The feet gently rolling out towards the edges of the mat. The palms resting either side of the hips, turned up towards the ceiling. This helps to open up the chest and connect the back with the ground, creating lots of space for you to breathe comfortably. If the eyes aren't already closed, let's just take a moment to close them here. For any extra wiggles you need to do before finding stillness, know that that's okay to do. We're closing the eyes, allowing the eyelids to be gently, softly shut. And slowly finding some stillness in the body if possible. We're going to bring our awareness, our focus to our breath. So noticing every inhale filling up the balloon in our bellies, and every exhale slowly releasing. With every inhale that happens, noticing how it feels coming in through the nose. Where does it go? Down the back of the throat, all the way down to the balloon in your belly. Perhaps the rib cage expands a little bit, maybe even the chest rising and falling. Good. So just noticing that journey. Every inhale that travels in and every exhale that releases. Maybe this is all we focus on today. The journey of the breath. Or perhaps we can let that journey go a little bit further. Traveling to any place in our body that is still holding on to a bit of tension. That could still relax that little bit more. Breathe into that tension. And with every exhale, imagining it's just melting away. Just releasing from the body, helping you to sink that little bit deeper into a state of relaxation. So we're just breathing in and breathing out. And letting the body rest. Maybe getting a little bit heavier with every breath we're taking. Or perhaps the more you're relaxing, the lighter your body is beginning to feel today. However your relaxation is working for you is absolutely okay. Just knowing that you are completely safe where you are today, in a space that is absolutely okay for you to relax in. Just breathing in and breathing out, and allowing the body to rest and release here for a little bit longer today. Just inhales and exhales. And perhaps while we're here, we could notice a thought that might be a positive one, something that can set us up for the rest of the day, maybe the week, maybe the month, or perhaps longer. Maybe this thought is a goal of some form. Maybe it's a mantra that really resonates with you at the moment. Maybe it's something or someone you're grateful for. Perhaps it's as simple as a word. Maybe it's a sentence, maybe it's a whole paragraph, a story, whatever it is, just finding a thought if it comes to you today. Something that makes you feel motivated, happy, alive, ready, powerful, anything you want to feel, but it just has to be positive. So let's take a couple more breaths here, finding a thought or holding on to one you may have already found. And if nothing comes to you today, know that that is absolutely okay. We don't always have to find a thought if it's not right for us. It's just breathing in, breathing out, taking a little bit longer to press save on all of your gorgeous work today, or to focus on that positive thing that little bit more. Good. Okay, so let's slowly wake the body back up now. So taking a nice deep, big inhale, filling up the balloon in your belly, and slowly exhaling. With every inhale that follows now, more energy can travel into your body, helping you to wiggle your fingertips and the toes. And slowly with every breath that comes, more of your body can wake up. So let that breath travel up through the arms, through the legs, through the torso, through the neck, the head. And when you're ready, when you finish moving on your back, slowly roll over to your right hand side, creating a pillow for your head with your hands. Take a nice deep, big inhale here, a big breath. Maybe coming back to your happy thought if you found one. But when you're ready, with the eyes still closed, slowly walk yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And we'll meet with hands to heart center in prayer. Taking a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, rubbing the hands together, creating friction. And when they're super duper warm and about to start a fire, let's part them and place them over our closed eyelids. Allow the heat from the hands to warm up the eyes and slowly blink them open. Parting the fingertips to let more light in, and when they've adjusted, gently exhale hands all the way down to heart center in prayer. So coming back to your happy thought if you had one. If not, just do the movements, it's okay. So let's inhale, we're bringing our prayer hands all the way up to our eyebrows, that space between the brows, our third eye, and just planting our happy thought in there if we had one today. As we breathe out, we lower the hands down to heart center, where we truly desire our thoughts and feelings. Peel open your hands like a book and examine your thoughts in your palms. When you're ready with what you're sending off, seal the hands shut by placing the knuckles together, opening the palms to the side. As we breathe out, we're brushing those fingertips past the chest and all the way away from us, straight ahead, as if we're sending it off to the universe or whatever we believe in. We're giving the thanks as we're breathing in and breathing out for all the amazing things in our world already. But as you next exhale, we've got space to maybe bring some more amazing things into us. So bringing the hands back towards you, peel them open like a book again and see what's been sent back. Close those hands back to prayer and take a moment to be grateful and thankful for what's in your world already and what the world is willing to send more of. As you next exhale, blossom to a lotus flower by keeping the pinky fingers and thumbs together and spreading the 3 middle fingers apart. Coming to your lotus flower and seeing all of the amazing things that you can do right at your fingertips. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day, or asleep if you decided to do this in the evening. I'll see you tomorrow for day 2 of our 28 days of yoga with Kirsty. Thanks so much for joining me. Eat well, drink well, sleep well. Namaste.